Hey, how's it going, guys? Today we'll be exploring the history of folding wings and wingtips. In 2019, Boeing rolled out the next generation version of the popular 777 series. With two variants planned and the A380 production lines shutting down, eventually the 777X will be the largest commercial aircraft in production. The longest model, the 777-9X, is 9 feet longer than the 777-300ER. It seats 50 to 60 more passengers and offers improved capabilities. Despite being longer and larger, the 777X will actually have GE9X engines that provide 10% less thrust than the GE90-115B that is found on the 777-300ER. This is enabled by longer wings that produce more lift. The 777X has a wingspan of 71.75 meters, which is about 7 to 10 meters longer than older 777s. Despite the 72-meter wingspan, the 777X is still categorized as a Code E aircraft, enabling it to still fit into the same gates as the smaller A330, Boeing 787, and original 777 family. It's no secret that this is possible thanks to the clever folding wingtip design. While the folding wingtip design is alien to the commercial sector of aviation, it has been around since, quite frankly, the dawn of aviation. While watching this video, you'll be acquainted with unconventional and unique applications of the technology. Before we get started, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you're into long-format aviation videos. I have many more videos planned and would welcome any feedback as I work on growing my channel. Alright, so let's get to it. To keep you watching and for me to save time for talking about cool the primary benefit of folding wingtips is saving space. They allow for smaller hangars, denser parking of aircraft, and of course, operations from aircraft carriers. These reasons are why we've had them. Which begs the question, how have we had them? Well, the earliest instance of folding wingtips was before mankind took flight. The first intentional use of folding wingtips was in 1913, a short 10 years after the Wright brothers first powered flight with the Kitty Hawk in 1903. Short Brothers, a pioneering company in the early days of aviation, developed the technology and introduced them on the short S.41. The original patent was filed in 1913. The S-41 was fitted with the folding wing after operational testing wrapped up in 1912. The wings were hinged so that they could fold back horizontally against the fuselage. Short supplied transverse spars that kept the wing locked in flight. The S-41 design was expanded, eventually creating the unofficial short folder family. The Short 184 was the most successful member of this family, with over 930 frames produced. It was a British two-seat aircraft designed for bombing and torpedo runs. On August 12, 1915, the Short 184 became the first aircraft to attack an enemy ship with an air-launched torpedo. Since the original patent for the simple fold design was filed in 1913, many additional patents have been filed for similar concepts that expand on the idea. The most recent and only civilian implementation of this simple fold technology is with Boeing's 777X. The aircraft had its first flight in 2019. As mentioned earlier, the 777X is the world's largest twin jet and has folding wingtips that allow it to squeeze into smaller gates. The 777X actually has folding wingtips that implement a simple fold design. We'll get to the 5 main classifications next, but the 777X wingtips actually operate in the exact same manner as the ones found on the short folder family. It is a simple strengthened joint that allows the wing, or in this case a small portion of it, to move 90 degrees, in this case upwards. Like the short folders, they have transverse locking pins that prevent motion in flight. The 777X folding wingtips each measure about 12 feet, roughly 1/3 the length of the original short S-41. These folding wingtips are about 4 feet longer than the blended winglets that are found on the 737 next generation, which are about 8 feet tall. These wingtips can fold or unfold in about 10 seconds. They are designed to automatically fold once the aircraft has reached a certain speed, around 50 knots, upon landing. To ensure safety, the FAA had several concerns, such as viability of position lights or operations in high winds. The FAA ended up issuing a total of 10 requirements. There are noteworthy ones like this, or this, and this, which details their expectations for the locking mechanism. Despite being a modern version of it, the 777X folding wingtip in application is a simple fold design, one that goes back to the earliest days of flight. Other examples of the simple fold throughout history include the infamous Mitsubishi A6M Zero. Surprisingly, the Zero's wings went through a lot of changes during its production run. Mitsubishi changed from rounded to square rings, changed the span, and so on. 10,900 Zeros belonging to one of the models on screen were built. Of these models, only the Model 21 and Model 22 employed folding wingtips. Together, the Model 21 and Model 22 totaled about 2,600 frames. Another notable example of a simple folding wing is the Vought F4U Corsair. The Corsair's wings, like the 777X, are hydraulically powered and are activated by the pilot. The Corsair's wings can be manually folded as well. The Corsair was designed for use on aircraft carriers and had over 12,000 units produced. While the model encountered initial difficulties with carrier operations, they were quickly fixed, and the Corsair went on to develop a strong reputation. Modern examples of the simple folding wing can be found in Russia with the Sukhoi Su-33, or stateside with well-known fighter jets like the F-18 Hornet. The simple folding wing is just one of 5 main categories of folding wings. The others are the aftward fold, double fold, rotating wing, and overswept wing. To understand all 5 of these folding wings, how they work, and what benefits they provide, we'll continue talking about some different aircraft, along with a Japanese secret weapon. To understand the aftward folding wing, we'll continue on with that Japanese secret weapon. Pearl Harbor, Japan's attempt to scare the United States from entering a war in the Pacific, ultimately failed. Admiral Yamamoto, still convinced surprise attacks would remain the best course of action, devised an underwater aircraft carrier that could attack the western and eastern seaboards of the United States.
The aerial assault will break the will of the population.
The I-400 class submarine, as it was called, was massive for its time. The I-400 was able to carry and launch a complement of 3 aircraft. Mustard and the Military Channel's videos on the I-400 submarine are worth watching and directly inspired me to make this video about folding wingtips. I recommend checking them out. Yamamoto's plans arranged for a fleet of 18 I-400 submarines. However, by the time the Pacific War ended, only 3 I-400s were completed. We also know that a small number of aircraft, known as the Aichi M6A Seiran, or Clear Sky Storm, were produced for operations on the I-400. Aichi Kokuki KK designed several aircraft for the Imperial Navy, including the M6A Seiran. Aichi originally planned to modify the Yokosuka D4Y1 Suisei for use on board the I-400. However, adapting the aircraft for the I-400 was too difficult. The 2 main issues were space and time-consuming engine warm-up cycles. Aichi selected the AE-1P Atsuta 30 engine, a licensed version of Daimler Motors DV601 12-cylinder engine. They developed an idea from the Germans, which allowed for the engine oil to be preheated to around 140 degrees Fahrenheit or 60 degrees Celsius in preparation for launch. Due to the I-400's 11-foot diameter cylindrical hangar, a simple folding wing design would not have worked. There was not enough overhead space for an upward folding wing like the 777X. There was also not enough horizontal space for a simple aft folding wing like the S-41. Instead, the Seiran's wings rotated 90 degrees and then folded backwards 90 degrees to save with transverse space. The top of the tailplane also folded. This enabled each I-400 to carry a complement of 3 Seirans. Seiran prototypes were completed in October 1943. On July 23, 1945, 6 Seirans and 2 I-400s were deployed. Shinryu Tokubetsu Kogu Gekitai, or God Dragon Special Attack Squad, originally planned to attack the Gatun locks of the Panama Canal. The target was eventually changed to Ulithi Atoll, where the US Navy was amassing a large fleet. On the 16th of August, flagship I-401 was notified of Japan's surrender. The Seirans on board I-401 were catapulted into the sea with their wings and stabilizers folded, while the crew on board I-400 simply pushed their aircraft overboard. The Imperial Navy, in violation of laws of the war, painted these Seirans to have the appearance of American planes. That's why they were destroyed. A good reference point for how this Aichi-designed aftward folding wing could have looked like during operation are the Grumman F4F seen here, and later Grumman F6F seen here. On screen right now is a clip of the Grumman TBF Avenger's folding wings automatically deploying. Note that Grumman did license production of the TBF Avenger to General Motors. That's why this Avenger is called the TBF Avenger. The primary benefit of an aftward folding wing is ensuring overhead and transverse clearance. While marginally more complex than the other types, as the entire wing has to both pivot and fold, it is the most space-efficient type of folding wing overall. A less common type of folding wing is the double fold. It wasn't employed too often, and usually resulted in having a large main folding portion with a small 2 to 3 foot folding wingtip. The exact reasons vary aircraft to aircraft, but it likely has to do with overall packaging rather than any desires to save space. In the case of the Fairey Gannet, the double folding wing was actually split into near equal thirds. When folded, the wings formed a Z shape. The outboard portion folds down, while the middle portion folds up. Even stranger, the Gannet had counter-rotating props. This brings us to the Bell Boeing V-22 Osprey. The V-22 is the world's first tilt-rotor aircraft. It has VTOL and STOL capabilities. The V-22 has the utility of a helicopter while maintaining the range and high speed of conventional fixed-wing aircraft. With the goal of saving transverse space, the V-22 has a unique rotating wing. When entering storage mode, the V-22's wings and rotors can fold in about 90 seconds. The wings rotate to align front to back with the fuselage. According to the Osprey's engineers, the 38-foot diameter rotors are about 5 feet shorter than would have been optimal. However, in favor of saving space, and of course implementing the tilt rotor design, the Osprey's rotors were limited to 38 feet. The short rotors, in combination with a high sweep angle for forward flight, make the Osprey's rotor wash powerful and notorious. Pilots are instructed to keep 250 feet of vertical separation between their V-22 and any Ospreys that may be flying above. This downwash, known as high disc loading, has resulted in a few Osprey crashes, some of which I can remember as a Southern Californian. With this in mind, the folding wing design did not directly contribute to these crashes, or any crashes, in the history of aircraft with folding wings. The V-22 has high disc loading, and the United States military is fully aware of the V-22's operational quirks. The last and perhaps most well-known type of folding wing is the overswept wing. This is sometimes called a variable sweep wing, or simply a swing wing. In the simplest terms, a straight and unswept wing experiences high levels of drag as it approaches the speed of sound. Sweeping the wing at any angle, forwards or backwards, reduces the overall drag. However, by sweeping the wing, the effective span decreases, which leads to poor efficiency at altitude and requires higher takeoff and landing speeds. The optimal solution is a wing that swings. During takeoff, the wing is kept straight. During flight or high-speed cruise, the wing can be folded. The concept for folding wings emerged in the 1960s, when the US adopted the configuration for the TFX, or Tactical Fighter Experimental Program. The TFX evolved into the General Dynamics F-111 Aardvark. Introduced in 1964, over 500 F-111 Aardvarks were produced. Nearly 10,000 aircraft with variable sweep wings have been produced. This list includes the Sukhoi Su-17, 20, 22, and Su-24 Fencer. There is also the Tupolev Tu-22. Stateside, we've had the Rockwell B-1 Lancer, and of course the Grumman F-14 Tomcat. The most interesting application of the swing wing concept was with the Boeing 777 supersonic transport. Born out of a design competition which included the North American NAC-60 and Lockheed L-2000, The Boeing 2707 would have been approximately twice the size of the British-French Concorde. It was designed to fly at Mach 3, significantly faster than the Concorde's Mach 2. This was achieved with a wing that provided for large amounts of lift during takeoff and landing. During flight, the wing folded to provide optimal conditions for a high-speed cruise. Had the Boeing 2707 gone into production, this swing-wing design would have been the world's grandest and largest implementation of folding wing technology. Unfortunately, due to insurmountable problems related to the swing-wing mechanism's weight, Boeing switched to a more standard delta wing. The titanium pivot section for the prototype swing wing on the 2707 weighed over 4,600 pounds and was nearly 2.5 feet thick. Due to the entire mechanism's huge weight, any benefits of the variable sweep feature were ultimately lost. In 1969, the Boeing SST had orders for 122 frames from the likes of Delta, Iberia, KLM, and Northwest Airlines. Of course, the SST went on to be cancelled in 1971. If you're interested in learning about supersonic flight and some of the engineering difficulties to it, definitely check out my older video on the Aerion AS2 supersonic business jet. Fair warning, I was still using my headphones to record that video, so the audio quality is not as good. In any case, that wraps up this video about folding wingtips. In review, folding wingtips have been around since the dawn of aviation. They found their way onto thousands of aircraft. Throughout their entire history, there have been few, if any, notable losses due to the folding wing design. There are 5 main categories of folding wings: the simple fold, aftward fold, double fold, rotating wing, and overswept or variable sweep wing. I hope this video has given you a nice introduction to the concept and makes you a little less worried about flying on the 777X. With a solid history of high performance through its military applications, the folding wing is a tried and true aspect of aviation. I think folding wingtips will be a mainstay of aviation for a long time to come. I don't see them going away, at least until wings are made with more flexible materials. Of course, at that point, we'll probably have flapping wings, which is basically like next generation folding wingtips, except the whole wing is folding. So, what do you think about folding wingtips? Are they the future of commercial aircraft? What would you be interested in hearing about next? Like always, let me know down below, and thank you for watching.